Politics don't end relationships. I hate to break it to you. You end relationships.
Coming closer, know that I'm a mess. Tangled up in wires, I can't catch my breath. I run.
Women tell me all the time after divorce that they want to make more friends. Absolutely. Friendships are healthy. Friendships are what's going to make this next chapter of your life the best chapter of your life. But if you're cutting people out because they think differently than you might be the problem. Today I'm making the case that politics indeed do not end friendships. People do. Here's the sentence I hear all the time. We were friends for 20 years and then politics got in the way. No, politics didn't get in the way, my friend. One of two things actually happened. The friendship was already thin and politics is the excuse we're using. If the difference of opinion is enough to end a 20-year friendship, the friendship was not as deep, as solid, or as valuable as you'd like to think it was. You see, strong friendships, they survive disagreements. They actually grow thanks to disagreements because friends challenge one another. Friends help one another think different. Friends love one another despite difference of opinions. What friendships don't survive is neglect, contempt, or two people that were never actually that close. Maybe all along you just tolerated each other for decades out of habit. You don't lose a friend to politics. You lose a friend to how you treat them because of politics. Now, I'm not telling you not to have opinions. I'm not telling you to swallow your values or to stop caring what's going on in the world. Absolutely not. I would never say that. But what I am telling you is that the friendship didn't end because of who or who is not in office. It ended because one of you or both of you decided that a disagreement is a reason to stop having this relationship. That is a choice. So stop trying to hide behind the fact that politics are too divisive. Because for healthy-minded people, politics are not divisive at all. So tell me, why is it that people do this? Why do they reach for politics instead of the real culprit? Well, when you say we grew apart over politics, it makes you the principled one and them the unreasonable one. It creates a story where you are always right, and I hate to break it to you, but no one's ever always right. Compare that to the actual truth. I stopped being curious about someone. I was at the end of my limit. I didn't have the patience to get to know someone, to understand their story the moment they disagreed with me. And you can see why people don't choose the honest version. Maybe it's because being certain feels safer than having connection. Being right about your politics, well, that gives you a very clean, very simple identity. And if you stay friends with someone who disagrees with you, well, that requires you to hold complexity, to both like someone and think that they could be wrong about something. And let's face it, we're lazy. A lot of people don't want to do that work anymore. So instead, they cut the friendship off and blame it on the state of the world. The state of the world has been in despair since the beginning of time. Or perhaps you cut these people off because you're lazy. It is an awful lot easier to post about how ludicrous these people are and draw a line in the sand than it is to reach out, pick up the phone, sit down over a cup of coffee and say, hey, I miss you. What's going on? Or I don't understand, or tell me more. That takes time, that takes effort, that takes, well, a very mature person. If you really want to have good friends, and if you want to make more friends, which I think you should do, I think we should have so many friends we can't even count them. It's very important that you separate the opinion from the person. You can think someone is dead wrong about a policy and yet still think they're genuinely a good person. Those two things are not contradictory. In fact, I would encourage you to practice that. It is a very valuable skill that will keep all of your adult friendships alive and well. Perhaps get curious instead of righteous. Curiosity keeps friendships while certainty is going to kill every last one of them. You don't have to agree with them ever. But perhaps you might want to understand how and why they got there. And in knowing that, you may actually learn to love your friend more. Perhaps you need to learn how to set a boundary on a topic versus a boundary on a whole entire human. If politics generally derails you, don't talk about it. Spend time doing the things you love doing together. Grabbing a cup of coffee, going for a walk, planning a trip, sharing recipes, listening to music. There are so many things that bring you together. Trust me, so many things bring you together. Take responsibility and catch yourself when you find things escalating. We all know what our hot buttons are. We all know the things that send us over the edge and we have a very difficult time coming back from. So steer conversations to the open, beautiful road versus the icy, unpaved dead end. And honestly, if you actually want more friends after divorce, again, highly recommend. Initiate, reach out, invite people to do things, and do not require a political litmus test clearing first, because most people are not nearly as extreme or unhinged as you would like to believe. The women with a lot of friends, the kind of friends that will be there for you in a heartbeat, the kind of friends you can call at 2 a.m., the kind of friends you can show up to their front door in your bathrobe and sleep on their couch. Have a standing policy, standing agreement to not talk about politics, in particular if they disagree. Which it's okay, let me remind you, it is a-okay to disagree about all sorts of things with the people that you love. Politics does not end friendships, people end friendships. Every time you reach for an outrage instead of a phone call, every time it's easier to say, we grew apart, rather than I stopped trying. Because if your best friend from college, who has been there for you in thick and thin, was by your side when you delivered your first child, gave you a place to rest your head and cry when that boyfriend cheated on you, has shown up time and time again as a true, loving, lifelong friend, disagrees with you on a political policy, and you decide to cut her out, that is not a political problem. That's a you problem.